Good afternoon, good evening, this is John Paul Wright. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan. Today we're talking about Benioff and Weiss and Game of Thrones, because I gotta be honest, it's been bothering me. I didn't think Season 7 was so bad. I know a lot of people thought it was bad. I just kind of okay, they had a few mistakes, little missteps, but the show's been awesome overall, so I'm really excited going to 8. Then 8 happened, mostly negative opinions, and all this stuff about how Benioff and Weiss isn't so good, they suck, they're terrible, they're Ryan Johnson now. And then I realized something really important. Benioff and Weiss probably weren't that awesome to begin with. The reason I say that is because when I got to a little bit of thinking about this, is I realized that seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on Game of Thrones were heavily influenced from the books and from George R.R. Martin's writings, his storylines. Yes, they changed some things. They changed some major things as far as characters. However, they kept the major shocks intact. We had Ned's head getting cut off. That was kept intact. That was from the book. We had the Red Wedding. That was kept intact. That was from the book. We had Jaime's hand gets cut off. That was kept intact. That was from the book. Joffrey dying. All these things, all these awesome moments, these awesome shocks that were built up to were from the book. That was what R.R. Martin's wrote, not Benioff and Weiss. So Benioff and Weiss probably had a really good run starting the show off because they had a really good blueprint. But the fact is, once the book stories just totally ended, now they're just any old dudes trying to finish one of the greatest stories ever told, basically. So probably what happened is they couldn't do it. They just kind of started to tinkle around with things, mess around with things, change up things too much, make characters do things they probably wouldn't do so well. They make Arya kill the Night King because, okay, it's Arya, she's awesome in the show and everything, and everyone's going to like that. And not because they had this real great development for it. It just seems to me that, I don't want to say they sucked all along, but it just seems to me that they were just normal dudes all along. They were just big fans of Game of Thrones all along. They knew the books well, according to George R.R. Martin's. That's why they got the job, and that's great, and I have a certain level of respect for them, but now it's kind of you see their true colors. They're just kind of guys who found an awesome story, made it into a show, and made it successful. But when the time came where they didn't have that incredible detailed blueprint anymore, because I know George R.R. Martin told them a few things about the ending, but it seems like a lot of the details are getting a little effed up. That's my basic theory. But the fact is, the bottom line is, this all goes back to the fact that they weren't that incredibly awesome in the first place. That's what I'm thinking. I've got a secondary theory, and this one is a little tough for me because I like George R.R. Martin's. I think he's one of the more honest people in Hollywood based on the things I've seen him say, but let's just assume for 1 second that Game of Thrones has become a vessel to make money. Now, let's say these books haven't come out in a long time. He still promised 2 more books. He hasn't canceled them. So let's say they deliberately give the show a terrible ending. Now, the show's already made its money. It's had its run. It's made its money. It's in the last season. There's going to be merchandise, things like that, maybe a spin-off series or something. But I think it's made its major run. It's had its peak. So what if the ending was crap on purpose and, they're sitting there saying, we're going to release the books soon after this crap ending happens, a couple of months, whatever, in some due time, and we're going to say, hey, Benioff and Weiss, you guys effed up the last season, but the books have a different ending. And then the people who were invested in the first place, the millions of people, by the way, since 1997, who invested in the first place, can be like, yeah, we watched the show and the ending really wasn't good, but yeah, we got to see the books. We got to see, wink wink, the real ending. We got to buy that. Again, I'm not saying, George R.R. Martin's terrible. I love the guy. I think he's one of the best writers of all time. I'm just saying, if you think about it from a point of making money, it would make sense if the show had a bad ending bleeding into the release of the books. Would it not? Can you argue that logic? I don't like to say it, but that thought came to my head as a business move. So you guys, let me know what you think of that in the comment section. Yeah, I'm losing it. It's getting towards the end of the video. It's late. I'm tired. Okay. Anyway, like I'm saying, this is frustrating for me because I love this show. I still think in the end, even if the ending's bad, as a complete package, it's definitely still pretty good. I mean, I'd argue seasons 1 through 6 are pretty damn great. 7, I don't think it was as bad as everyone else. 8, I see the complaints. More and more is coming out now. I've been hearing a few more opinions, having my eyes open to some certain things I missed, I think, the first week. Because like The Last Jedi, when I see something that I really like, that I really want to be good, I try to find the good in it. And at this point, the good is kind of trickling out. I still think there's some good things, but again, there's so much potential that was missed here. So much storyline that was just could have really been handled so much different. The show's not over as this video is being made, so we'll see. I know everyone's got to say that it's not over yet, guys. But, it seems pretty irreparable, unrepairable, however you say that, in a lot of aspects. If it's got a really satisfying ending, well, who knows? Alright, semi-rant over. I got a Patreon, Twitter account, shoutouts, special thanks, stuff like that. See you next time.